Hey guys, it's Scott from fxmissions.com. Just a note, I've finished the trilogy of anthologies from the forefront, and all 3 books are currently available on Amazon.
Take your leadership to the next level. It's time for the Foundational Missions Leadership Moment with Scott McClelland of FX Missions.
Hi, Scott McClelland with your Leadership Moment. Thanks for jumping in with us. We're here on location in Mazatepe, Nicaragua, with a friend, Brandon Wiedman.
Hi, guys.
All right. Yes. Well, thank you for your time and your friendship, Brandon. It's good to kind of find out about what you guys are doing here. Mazatepe, very cool place in Nicaragua. Mm-hmm. I've loved it for a number of years. And but you're here on a more permanent basis than what I've been. So tell us a little bit about where you're from, and tell us a little bit about, maybe how you found your way here.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Great to get connected. It's fun to get to know somebody that's been involved in Mazatepe so long that I don't know yet, because I feel like I've kind of gotten to know everybody now. But yeah, originally from Fishers, Indiana, or the Indianapolis, Indiana area. Okay. Came down to Mazatepe 6.5, 7 years ago for the first time. Okay. Came down with a church group. Didn't know anything about international travel back then. I had to get my passport actually to come down here. And kind of came down with that mindset of just exploring what else was out there. Was newlywed. My wife and I were looking for the next big adventure in our life. And we got down here thinking we were coming to do one thing, and then completely had our eyes open to what's out there in the world. And so amazing experience that completely changed our worldview and gave us a desire to become vagabonds. And so we did it.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So Indiana, wow. So climate-wise, you're really enjoying Mazatepe.
Yeah, it's great.
Fishers, Indiana.
Yeah, I just got an email yesterday that it was 23 degrees back there, and this was 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was already sweating down here. So
awesome.
Of course, nobody was feeling sorry for me.
Yeah, well, no, they were probably feeling angst, which got to enjoy it while you can, for sure. This is a leadership podcast, so we kind of dig into the leadership side of the house. One of the things that I like to ask folks who are cross-cultural leaders, you're a leader in one culture, and then you go into another culture, and not everything that you know in terms of leadership from the culture that you're born into, makes the transition. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you've been in business, and you've got a lot going on down here, a lot of projects, a lot of employees, a lot of guys working for you, a lot of outreaches and stuff. What have you found about leadership that worked for you and in the States that didn't make the trip?
Yeah. Well, you and I were just talking about a little bit ago about having grace inside of the foundation of your leadership and your business organization. And for me, that's it. There's a huge level of disappointment when you are experiencing another culture and it's coming at you in a way that you didn't expect. And so having the ability to just say, hey, this is cultural, and I'm going to be a little more graceful about this situation than maybe I would be in my own context, allows you to move through that. And it's kind of uncomfortable, but you get through it. For me, there was kind of a breaking point down here when I realized it's okay that I don't like some things about this culture. Right. I think when we come in as an outsider, sometimes we think, no, it's just the way it is. I have to learn to like it. I have to learn to accept it. But we don't do that in our own culture. Yeah, in the U.S., I'm going to say no. There's this aspect or this element of who we are as a culture, the materialism or the consumeristic nature of the culture, and I'm going to say no. I'm actually not okay with this. I'm going to fight it. I'm going to try to change it. Right. And you become a leader in that field of trying to change this one field. When you come into another culture and you want to be a leader, and yet you're trying to just always accept the things that they do as the way it is, right, you aren't leading change. You're accepting it or falling into it. And so it takes years, not days, to get to a point where you can say there's an element of your culture, and actually say it to somebody from that culture that I don't agree with. And I want to talk about how we can move through it, or how we can change it, to get to the point that somebody else from that culture would actually respect your viewpoint on it, where you can actually speak into it and have an opinion. It just takes a lot of time.
Wow. Well, that they see the investment that you've made. They obviously know you're not just in trying to pick out things that that you want to pick on something about the way the culture is different, makes you uncomfortable in that way. So well, leadership being about change, right? Leadership is about change and about action. And so that a lot of times I think as we see in the scripture, a lot of the culture that surrounds us is part of what binds us up, and that applies to every culture. I think not the one that's unfamiliar to us. Big lesson for me in there. We'll break it down with a cup of coffee sometime.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time and your help here on the Leadership Moment. If someone wants to get in touch with you, find out about all the, you guys are doing a lot down here. If somebody wants to contact you or the ministry or the business aspect, how, what's that front door that somebody can knock on and say, hey, tell me more? Yeah,
we have a number of things going. It all fits under International Teams, the organization that I'm the director for here in Nicaragua. iteams.us.
Okay.
Look for Nicaragua, Mazatepe, any of those keywords, and you're going to find us. We run Betos Coffee Company, BETOS, Betos. You can just Google Betos and find us online as well. But yeah, any of those routes are going to get you to me.
Okay, cool, man. Well, thanks again for joining us, and blessings to you and your efforts.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming down.
No question, man. We'll see you again, and hopefully soon.
All right.
Scott McClelland with your Leadership Moment. Until next time, contact me or us at fxmissions.com, and have a good one.
Thanks, Scott.
This Leadership Moment was produced in partnership with Engaging Missions. Have your leadership question answered by contacting Scott at fxmissions.com. Visit FX Missions to learn more about how you can grow your leadership and engage in missions. Visit engagingmissions.com for encouragement, insight, and resources from missionaries, ministry leaders, and church planters.